Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I think we are the 18th of June. I'm not sure how long it's been since the last video, but just been busy with everything, getting stuff done. And I figured I should get to work on this video for making the tonneau cover for the 65 Fargo. And I'll be building one almost identical, just about 4 inches longer for the 59 here. So I'll show you what I've got, where I bought supplies, what materials I'm using, and we can go from there. So, okay, what I've got is the basic frame completed. I've got 3/4 inch anodized aluminum cross braces that I have a little bit of a bow bent in so that the water will run off. The side rails and the front rail here where the material will attach. And for the guys in Canada, this is where I get my upholstery supplies from. It's called JT's Outdoor Fabrics Inc. They're out of Barrie, Ontario, I think it is. Anyhow, this is a special vinyl made for tonneau covers. It is very low stretch in one direction and a little bit of stretch in the other direction. Pretty heavy stuff. The other thing is you have to use a really good quality Velcro. This is actual Velcro material. And then the hook part that goes on the side rails is a 3M. There's quite a few that are a lot cheaper than this, but what JT's recommended was this one, specifically made for it. Once you position it and stick it down, it's self-adhesive. It doesn't come off. So it's about 3 times the price of the cheaper knockoff, but I didn't want to go that route. So for my side rails, what I've used is 1/8 by 1 inch angle and 1/8 by 1.5 flat. These are welded together such I did it flush on the outside and a little bit of an overlap on the inside. I've got the back end curved down here. Now on the Fargo, this is going to come back and it'll be right on the edge of the box. Then my tonneau cover is going to come down and I'm going to have 5 snaps across the tailgate that hold it in place. We looked at a bunch of different ways to try and do a latch and none of them seemed to work well. You can buy the kit for latches, but they're about $400 per tonneau cover. And the way it is right now, I bought enough material and steel and everything to do 2 tonneau covers for a little less than $400. Assembly, what I did was I fusion welded the angle to the flat on the outside, and then on the inside I've got a tack about I've done about 2 inches of weld every 4 to 6 inches. I built a little pocket for the tubing to go through with a little hairpin that holds it in place. I looked at different types of roll-up tonneau covers and they had different ways of fastening the tubes in. None of them looked really well. These aren't going to come off a whole lot, so I figured it's just as easy to pin the cross pieces in, and then as you roll it up, you just take it out, roll it up into the fabric, and it'll be rolled up at the front of the box here. So what I'll do is I'll get everything disassembled and I can show you the individual pieces and how it's going to get mounted to the truck here. Okay guys, we're back again here. I've been a slacker. I think I started this video on the 18th and it's the 28th now, so it's been 10 days. So what I've got is the front and the 2 sides. I got them sanded, cleaned up, and coat of primer and the first coat of black on them. And I'm just going to show you how it's all going together here. So for the front piece, I'm using 4 anchor points. I've got 4 holes drilled across the front here. And I used a countersink bit to sink these bevel-headed bolts, I guess you could call them. And they'll go in and they sit almost flush so they don't catch the, the material. What I'm going to do with the material, excuse me, is this is the front of the box here. I'm going to pop rivet the material across the front edge of the, hopefully I got you in frame here, across the front edge of the frame. It'll go down around and wrap over so it can't leak here. What I'm using to anchor, excuse me, is 1/4-inch rivet nuts. And they are going to get riveted into the front of the box. I'll show you up front here. So what I did to join the side rails to the front rail is I took a piece of 5/8 OD steel tubing, put it inside this 3/4 square tubing and plug welded it on the sides, and then I drilled through everything all together. Just slide this in like that, and then when this gets bolted down to the front of the box, it locks it all together. Get that off of there. Okay, and then on the front of the box, I just put 2 in on the 59 here because this is going to be a little bit different than the Fargo is. And I've got the rivet nut sunk in here. So when I make the one on the 59, it'll be exactly the same mounting points. Then for the side rails, this was a little bit tricky. What I had to do, try not to scratch this before I get it all painted, is I pre-drilled all the holes. And I had to make sure to get them dead center in the angle, otherwise my rivet nut won't go in. They're a little bit snug, but I prefer them a little snug. I have to tap them in. And there's 4 rivet nuts on each side rail. And then we will drill corresponding holes in the side of the box here and bolt them up from the bottom side. I've got some 1/8 foam tape that we're going to stick on the bottom of these to insulate between the steel and the box. Where my tubes go in, my cross pieces, and this anodized tubing also came from JT Fabrics. They have a full selection of aluminum tube in different sizes, as well as all the fittings for doing boat covers and that type of thing. So what I did here was I just took a piece of 18 gauge flat sheet steel. I bent it in a curve, drilled a hole in it, and then cut it at a 45-degree angle and TIG welded it to the side of this side channel. So when the material comes over, it'll go down the side and the Velcro will be stuck from front to back on the edge of this angle all the way down. It should be really strong. I'm going to finish the edge of the actual tonneau cover about 1/2 inch past the Velcro with the bias binding, which will give it a little bit of a lip to grab to pull off. So next thing we're going to be doing here is the sewing part of this. Put you back in the tripod, and that'll be starting here right away. I've got to get shop cleaned out a little bit, put the 59 back out in the Quonset, and set up my sewing table, which is a 4x8 sheet of plywood, grab the sewing machine, and see if I can remember how to use it. So once I get started on the sewing here, I'll show you the layout and how it's going to go together. So anyhow, guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry it's been so long. Just been busier than shit here on yard work and everything else. I know it's a ton of excuses, but that's all I got. So thanks, guys.